Hello everyone, welcome back to SBR Pythons. Today we've got a little bit of a follow-up video to a video from a couple of weeks ago where we did a season update, just taking you guys through our pairings. Some really exciting times here at SBR Pythons, waiting for those, or not even waiting for those ovulations now, to be fair. I've got a couple more sort of on the way, I'm pretty sure. But apart from that, I do think the season's over in terms of ovulations. I think we're just going to have the 5 clutches. I say just, I'm extremely happy with that. But this video is going to be mainly on the computer, to be honest. So I'm going to use system software that's going to be able to sort of see what the screen is doing. And I'm just going to take you guys through the pairings, but on there. So you guys can sort of, I've had a few people contact me since that video, which I thought might be the case, because obviously not everyone knows the tech-savvy terms and sort of the genetics and things like that. So I'm going to take you through the same sort of thing, but on Genetic Wizard, which, as you guys know, is like the genetic calculator, so you can see what's going to be going on. Some of you guys will get to see the odds I'm working on. I'll show you some examples of the animals I'm shooting for, and go a little bit more in depth about why I'm doing specific projects in terms of the long-term plans, because I've sort of highlighted the short-term plans in terms of, you know, directly what I'm hitting this year, so the clown pied, the panda pied, ENCHI pied and things like that. But I'm going to go a little bit more in depth and talk about, you know, what is the end goal from a visual ENCHI pied. So take it that sort of next level. So, you know, the goals for 2021, 2022, sort of that sort of thing. Now, I'm not going to go into that fully. If you wanted me to do like a 2-3 year breakdown of my plans, I could do that. So let me know if you guys would want to see that. And sort of other video ideas I've got at the minute are sort of some of the language terms we use in terms of the hobby, you know, like courting and things like that. I don't know if that would be of use to anyone. And yeah, that's pretty much what today's video is going to be. So we'll cut over and have a look at sort of the Genetic Wizard. Before we do that, I'm going to have a look at my cinnamon het pied, just because I've walked in from work about not even an hour ago. I've had a load of stuff to sort out admin-wise, so I've not had a chance to check the room out yet. So I'm going to check a female, because when I left for work this morning, it looked like she might have been starting an ovulation. I can't be certain, but let's have a look anyway. So it's the cinnamon het pied, who is down here, and it doesn't look like she's begun it yet. I mean, I'll look at the tail, because usually that's going to be a giveaway sign if she is. Not yet, but I certainly think she's very close, if not sort of the weekend that you're seeing this, because she does look massive. To be fair, might be the start of an ovulation now, as I suspected, even, words. Or could be even, yeah, I reckon it's the start of an ovulation, to be honest. But I absolutely love this girl's belly. I'm not sure if that's going to be coming across, but she has some incredible sort of yellow in that belly. But anyway, that's not really what today's video is about. I thought I'd just check that guy with you guys, since the camera was rolling. And if there had been an ovulation, you know, it would have been quite cool to sort of share my reaction as such with you guys, even though I'm pretty sure that she's going to go. It wouldn't have been much of a surprise. And then just finally, before we get to that, shout out to Alan at No Limit Morphs for the shirt. Thank you, Alan. But yeah, let's cut over and have a look at some of the pairings on Genetic Wizard. So here we go then, guys. This is Genetic Wizard. I'm sure most of you have seen this. It's on the World of Ball Pythons website, as you can see at the top here. If you just search it into Google, it's really easy to find. But this is a fantastic website. Not only have you got the Genetic Wizard, you've got things like the morph list, which is also sort of where you submit morphs, and you can see, like, not the entire morph list, because not everyone submits them, and there's new genes being created, for example. I'm not sure if odium's on there. But we'll have a look at some of our pairings, as I say. So let's start with a simple one, which is the PASTEL het clown, obviously, and then het pied. So as you can see, it's the PASTEL double het clown pied. So you add the PASTEL, you add the het clown, and then you add the het pied. And I'll just do that for the female as well, because they are both PASTEL double het clown pieds. So there we go. So you press calculate, obviously, and it will bring up straight away. You can see the PASTEL clown pied, which is incredible. But it brings up all the combinations that you can make with that pairing. So you can see I've got some phenomenal sort of possibilities even on this pairing. So this is what I always find funny and try and get across to people when they say about, for example, if I see it on Facebook or something like that, or one of my friends says it, I always have a chuckle, because if you've got bad odds, that doesn't necessarily mean you haven't hit the best animal that's down here. You've got 1 in 64 odds to hit the clown super pastel pied, and 1 in 64 odds to hit a normal. So if you hit a normal, technically you've had really good odds, just not in your favor. But as you can see, normal, het clown, het pied, all of that sort of stuff. So I'm going to be doing a video at some point on genetics, again using this software so you can have a look and see. But just in short, you know, het clown's a het clown. You're going to get possible het clowns, for example. That's why you here have a het clown and then you have a double het clown pied, because not all of them are going to be het for pied. And that's where, in this case, the 66% het for pied would come from. But as I say, I'll go into that in a different video. Pieds, clowns, all of the sort of cool stuff that, you know, even single gene clown or single gene pied, a possible het for the other one is incredible. Obviously, you've got the clown pied, which for those of you that haven't seen it, that's kind of what we're shooting for here. You can see, if I move my cursor, look at that. It's just what an incredible animal. That one's from TSK. You've probably heard of TSK, you know, the Xanthic lion. But you can see some of these animals are absolutely incredible. To be honest, that one there is what really drew me to this. But if we go back, if I can figure it out, there we go. We can have a look at, you know, the clown pastel pied, as you guys saw. I mean, look at that animal, absolutely phenomenal. Now, admittedly, that's got some incredible line of pastel going on there to create this sort of orange, and that head is phenomenal. And again, look at that orange, it's just phenomenal. But what I'm going to also do is, if I bring across here, I've got a pastel leopard clown from Cocoa Balls, who is unfortunately leaving the hobby. He is who I got my pastel leopard blade from, but you can see, again, that pastel influence on the clown pied. But this also has that leopard, which, as you guys know, I've got leopard in my pastel clown pied project from the pastel leopard blade, possible double het. And again, another example of that is this guy, which is from Old School Reptiles, another pastel leopard clown pied. And as you can see, it's absolutely phenomenal even. So as you can see, guys, I've just typed in the next pairing, which in this case happens to be the Super ENCHI Fire, 100% het for pied, to the pied girl. And you can see I've got incredible odds for this, and this is from that Super ENCHI. So again, I'll talk about this in the genetics video, but the Super ENCHI, everything's going to come out ENCHI. So automatically I've got really good odds, and obviously a visual pied means that every other animal should come out a visual pied as well. Should, because it won't always work like that. But you get ENCHI 100% het pieds, ENCHI pieds, ENCHI fire het pieds, and ENCHI fire pied. I'm shooting big time for this, which is the ENCHI fire pied, as I've said to you guys before. I really want this animal here because for the sole reason that I want to, in the longer run sort of thing, I want to produce this animal, which is an ENCHI Fire Special Pied from Florian with Orange Dream in it as well. So obviously I want that ENCHI Fire Pied male to have that better odds to put over my special pied female, and then eventually I want to get the Orange Dream in from my ENCHI Orange Dream male. So ultimately this will probably be in the Ultimate Pied project, but even if I hit this without the sort of Ultimate going on, it would be absolutely phenomenal. So that's the reason that I'm trying to hit the ENCHI Fire Pied. So next up, guys, for some reason it's not bringing up a photo, but obviously it's just the normal het pied. Now you don't have to type normal here because, you know, it's not a morph, so it automatically assumes the animal is a sort of what do you want to call it? A normal words. So yeah, this is another pairing I'm doing, and this is what I was just saying. I'm just highlighting this. Obviously, I'm only showing the 5 today that I think are actually going to go, but I'm just highlighting this to highlight that Super ENCHI Fire point that. You know, because it's a Super ENCHI, everything here is still going to be ENCHI. But in this case, because it's not the visual, I have got slightly lower rods. But I thought it would just be a good example just to show that. But that's something we can go into more depth on sort of in the next video. So next up, guys, you can see Black Pewter Pied to the Cinnamon Het Pied. Now, when you're typing in something with multiple genetics here, you have to do it individually. I should have mentioned that before. So like, for example, Black Pewter, as you know, is a black pastel pastel. So you just simply type in black pastel pastel. It's just that simple, guys. But here, as I said, Black Pewter Pied to Cinnamon Het Pied. So this is the girl that I just showed you that I thought was beginning her ovulation. And I still believe she is. But the reason I've done this is ultimately to hit an 8-ball pied, which is, where is it? There it is. Is an 8-ball pied. So as you can see, as I've mentioned before, it's sort of a different version of that black and white snake. This one happens to be extremely low white, and it's a beautiful animal. But that's ultimately why I'm doing it, is trying to hit another version of that that 8-ball, that black and white snake. You know, because of the panda issues and things like that. There is a pastel 8-ball as well. This is het for pied, sorry, because obviously I'd have the Black Pewter Pied, so it would be visual. I'm not sure if it's been done yet. No, the pastel 8-ball pied, or at least it isn't been done on here. It might have been done in real life, but it's not on the sort of World of Ball Pythons Morph list yet. But that's something else that we can hit. But the main thing here is the 8-ball pied, as I say. For those of you guys that haven't seen an 8-ball yet, literally referred to as an 8-ball or an 8-ball. I'll show you an 8-ball. So it's a nice dark, obviously, jet black snake. That sort of, it does admittedly sort of get a little bit more brown as it gets older. But it's just a beautiful animal, to be fair. So you can see why the appeal is definitely there for me. We'll move swiftly on into the next one, which is just a simple switcheroony from the cinnamon to the black pastel. And so you can see here, it's the same odds. And you've got, obviously at the end of this is the panda pied. I'll show it, I'm sure most of you have seen it. Yeah, I mean, most of you are going to have seen this. It's the black and white snake. Yes, it might not be pure black. Yes, that might be the sumo pied that obviously Justin's doing with the mahogany. But this is just, it's still an incredible animal, and this is one of the dream snakes that you really tick off on sort of that bucket list, or at least I do, because it was one of the first animals I ever saw. So just a beautiful animal, and that's exactly why I'm doing that pairing. In terms of long-term goals for that, to be fair, I'm not really sure. Same with the 8-ball, both of those are very short-term projects and just trying to hit that black and white snake through two different lines sort of thing. So no real long-term goals there. To be fair, I'm sure I could find something for that project. So if I do do a video, you know, talk about 2 or 3 year plans for these guys, these animals that is, you know, I'm sure I could come up with something for them. That's what's really exciting about this hobby after all, isn't it? So here we go. Here is the big one in terms of SBR Python season. It's the banana gravel het pied to the ENCHI pinstripe yellow belly het pied. Obviously it's got a baby photo there and no photo of a male, which is a shame, but I've shown you guys my male plenty of time even. But here we go. I mean, as I say, it's the big pairing. If I go down, you'll see a lot of 128s because I have incredibly high odds here to hit what I'm looking for, which is kind of exciting, but at the same time, it's you know, it's 128 odds. It's a very long odd, but there we go. That's, you know, I knew what I was signing up for, and hopefully, to be fair, the short-term goal here is to just create something like this, which is a banana highway, beautiful animal. Absolutely love how the banana works in the highway, sort of the oranges here between the saddles, the purples down the sort of yellow dorsal. It's just a phenomenal animal, and it's so orange from what I can see here. I've never had the fortunate, never been fortunate enough to see one in person, but obviously mine would be 66% het for pied 2. And then I'll also show you this, which is a, let me get this right, it's a banana ENCHI highway, and I totally cheated because it said at the top there. I have a sneaky suspicion this has PASTEL in it as well from the top of the head here. I was speaking to David Bennett of DS Pythons about this, and he's got a PASTEL highway pied, and it has a very similar head to that PASTEL highway. So I suspect this is a PASTEL as well. But whether it is or isn't PASTEL, it's an absolutely incredible animal. And again, if I was to hit one of them, sort of lucky enough to hit one of them, it would be 66% het pied again. So the short-term goal here would be to hit some sort of, not even a visual pied, obviously a visual pied would be fantastic, but any of those sort of highway and banana combo sort of thing. I'm trying to find something I can show you guys. I mean, there's the classic highway, sort of anything, even just a highway possible het pied. You know, I'll probably be holding most of this clutch back, if not all of it. That's a pretty crazy paradox. Just because, you know, odds, and you've got the yellow belly gravel complex, and you've got the sort of possible het pied as well to deal with. So you're looking at there, a banana yellow belly pied. Again, that's incredible. Even if I hit one of them, it would be staying again for that same reason that it would be possible gravel. You know, all of these things could potentially help my odds. So most of this clutch will be held back. That's the short-term goal. Obviously, the long-term goal is to get down the end here. Oh, sorry, down the bottom and hit things, you know, the banana, sort of the highway, ENCHI pinstripe yellow belly pied, which is just like, you know, I can't even imagine it. But even sort of smaller odds, I would say, than that, you know, something like a, where I'm trying to find some sort of visual pied that would be incredible. Most of them, to be fair, but, you know, take out the pinstripe, you know, ENCHI yellow belly banana highway. What's that going to look like? That's why this pairing is so incredibly exciting for me. and I really cannot wait to see sort of what we hit this year. And I do hope this video hasn't been too boring for you guys, because I have sort of kind of repeated the video, but sort of done a little bit on here, just mainly to test this, if I'm honest with you guys, and to see how it works. Let me know whether you guys like being able to see sort of what I'm doing on the screen here in terms of sort of how I'm setting these things up. That'd be really cool. And seeing as I've got it on and we're testing it, I had someone else ask me about LP racks. So I'll see if I can drag this across if it wants to play ball. This is the LP Racks website, as you guys have probably seen before. LP is where I go, sort of LP3. And then, for example, I'm looking for more V18s, so I won't be buying them now, obviously, but that would be what I'd be looking for there. And then you can sort of just translate that into sort of pound. So that's sort of what I'd be looking for there, and you know, it's a beautiful rack, absolutely incredible. You can change the sort of whether you want it in plastic or metal in terms of the legs. Gives you all the dimensions and everything like that. But I won't sort of go on about this too much because this isn't the focus of the video. But I just thought I'd end it by showing you some sort of highway pides, just because it's sort of convenient on what I've been talking about. I mean, look at them. They're specifically low, but that's why I'm trying to get that ENCHI back in. But this is probably my favourite highway pied on Wolf Market right now, and it's not even just an animal, but I just find this absolutely incredible. And the first time I saw a highway pied, I knew I had to get in this project, and sort of to have that pairing go this year is truly mind-blowing. But look at that animal, it's just beautiful. But anyway, I'll cut back over to actually me so you guys can see me, just so that we can sort of wrap up this video. So there we go, guys. That was just, again, a little bit of an insight into this year's pairings, but sort of visually you can see what we're dealing with in terms of odds, in terms of how the pairings are hopefully going to plan out. And as I say, a little bit of insight into a sort of more of the long-term goals of the pairings, but I do think I can cover that in another video. But meanwhile, look at this fantastic yellow belly het pied from the one and only PEBALD Rules, Martin Ender, who, as I've said to you, is one of the guys I look up to in Europe. Such an incredible line of yellow belly. I posted this girl on my story earlier to talk about sort of going live later, and it's got an incredible reception. Just reminding me that I need to show this girl off more, because for a single gene animal, it's absolutely incredible. And again, you've got that sort of yellow belly, sort of perfect example of where the name comes from there. But this girl has been a little bit cheeky recently. She did lunge out at my face yesterday and nearly got me on the tip of my nose, I'm not going to lie. To which I was a little bit like surprised, because she's just become so food aggressive. This girl never hunger striked at 1,000 kilos, 1,000 grams, which is good, but that's not the set in stone. You know, I've got the ENCHI Calico there who is doing that, so you know, it does happen and it doesn't happen. It depends on the animal, which is what most things are in this hobby, to be fair. But she's just broke the 1.5 kilo wall, so hopefully keep feeding her up, and then by the time September rolls around again, which is when I'll start pairing again, this girl will be a nice healthy size, and we can create some incredible yellow belly, or sorry, pumpkin pieds, which I cannot wait for. And obviously she'll probably be going over the banana gravel again as well, to be fair with you guys. But this video will probably be a little bit long, so I do apologise for that, and I hope it's not been too boring, as I say. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about sort of me doing a video talking about long-term goals for our projects, the language you use, genetics, and sort of any other ideas you guys have got. But for now, thank you very much for watching, guys. Leave a like, sort of leave a comment, and turn the notification bell on. And I'll see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe. Yeah, cheers, guys.